y is equals to 4x squared minus 3x. The first step is to increase x by delta x and increase y also by delta x. That is, let there be an increment in x by delta x. There will also be a corresponding increment in y by delta y. The meaning of that statement is that anywhere I see y in this equation, let me call this equation 1. Equation 1. Anywhere I see x in equation 1, I'm going to substitute x plus delta x. And anywhere I see y in equation 1, I'm going to substitute y plus delta y. So I'm going to have, for the first step, y plus delta y is equals to 4 into bracket x squared. So I'm going to have x plus delta x squared minus 3 into bracket x plus delta x. So you have seen. Now, if you look at the right hand side of this equation, I still need to expand this bracket. So I'm going to have y plus delta y is equals to 4 into brackets. If you expand this bracket, you're going to have x squared plus 2x delta x plus delta x squared minus 3 into bracket x plus delta x. So let us proceed. I'm going to have y plus delta y is equals to, open this bracket using the coefficient which is 4. So I'm going to have 4x squared plus 4x squared plus 4 multiplied by 2x delta x. That is 8x delta x, 8x delta x. 4 multiplied by delta x squared, that is plus 4 delta x squared minus, don't forget that I still have another coefficient before into bracket x plus delta x. So I'm going to have minus 3 multiplied by x, that is minus 3x. And then minus 3 multiplied by delta x, that is minus 3 delta x, minus 3 delta x. So having expand the bracket, now you look at all this all the value that you have here. Is there anyone that is similar that you can add? Of course, there is none. So the next step is to make delta y the subject of the relation. So I'm going to have delta y is equals to 4x squared plus 8x delta x plus 4 delta x squared minus 3x minus 3 delta x. If I move y from this from the left hand side to the right hand side, y has a positive sign here, so that will be a negative sign. So I'm going to have minus y. Now don't forget that from equation 1, y is equals to 4x squared minus 3x. So in this equation, I'm going to substitute y as 4x squared minus 3x. Therefore, I'm going to have delta y is equals to 4x squared plus 8x delta x plus 4 delta x squared minus 3x minus 3 delta x minus into brackets. Don't forget that y is equals to 4x squared minus 3x. 4x squared minus 3x. Delta y is equals to 4x squared plus 8x delta x plus 4 delta x squared minus 3x minus 3 delta x minus multiplied by 4x squared, that is negative 4x squared, minus multiplied by minus 3x, that is plus 3x. So plus 3x. Now let us try to eliminate some parameters here. Look at this. We have 4x squared in this place, and I have minus 4x squared. So this can eliminate this. Okay, let's check another one. I have plus 3x in this place. Let's check. I have minus 3x. So minus 3x eliminates plus 3x. Is there anything that can eliminate? Nothing. So I'm going to have delta y is equals to 8x delta x plus 4 delta x squared minus 3 delta x. Now I have this. The next step is to divide both sides by delta x. So I'm going to have delta y all over delta x is equals to 8x delta x all over delta x. Divide both sides by delta x. So that gives me this delta x. Now don't forget that this delta x, we divide this. So I'm going to have delta y all over delta x is equals to 8x plus 4 delta x squared all over delta x. I'm going to have 4 delta x minus minus 3 delta x all over delta x. So I'm going to have minus 3. The next step is to limit delta x as it tends to 0. So I'm going to have dy all over dx lim delta x as it tends to 0. So I'm going to have 8x plus 4 into bracket 0 minus 3. The meaning of this statement is that anywhere I see delta x in the right hand side of this equation, I'm going to substitute it as 0. So I have 4 delta x here, so that's the reason why I substitute delta x as 0. So dy dx delta y all over delta x is equals to 8x minus 3. So the derivative of y is equals to 4x squared minus 3x is 8x minus 3.